Well, this is a bit of a chatty one. So, hello and welcome back to the channel. Got my trusty Clipton. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's orange juice, but why not? So, this is going to be a chatty vlog, which I haven't done for a while, on updating on the RAM and what's been going on, because quite a lot's happened. So, RAM for the last year has had problems with her teeth and her mouth. So this first started when she had a tooth infection in the summer, and my vet said that if it causes problems again, and I must apologise, they're drilling next door, please ignore that. So she said that if it causes problems, then we will have to have the tooth out. If it doesn't, then we won't. So they don't want to pull teeth unless they have to, because pulling teeth in horses is pulling teeth in horses. So they cleared the infection up with antibiotics, and it stayed cleared up until probably about 3 months ago now, when I noticed that Ram overnight stopped eating. And I was told by my vet, who is brilliant, that the tooth, so in the summer when she had her tooth infection, this is the whole tooth, her tooth had done this, and then food had dropped down the gap and caused a little infection. So they cleared the food out, removed what's called the food packing from the fractured tooth, and they said if it comes back, then we have it out. As in, we have it out, the tooth comes out, not we fight the tooth and, you know, so phrase that terribly, sorry. So the infection didn't come back, and then overnight she stopped eating. Basically, the tooth had done this. This bit here, this fracture, was digging into her cheek, and her cheek was doing this along the surface, which wasn't ideal. So my vet came out and we discovered that. We put the dental gauger in her mouth, and we had a look and a poke and a prod, and that's what was discussed. They said that they would get her booked in for x-rays and CT scans, which they have to do. My vet personally has to do the scans, or as a business, they have to do the scans before they then go forward and extract the tooth. But they said at the end of the day it needs to come out. So they booked me in for, this was on a Friday, Thursday. This was on a Thursday. They booked me in for the Friday to have the tooth removed. No, to have the x-rays taken, sorry. So Thursday they came out. They booked me in for the following Wednesday to have the scan on her head, which they could do on the yard, and then we would go from there as to appointments and booking and tooth extraction and everything else. Friday I called them again, and I was like, this is now an emergency. She's not eaten anything. She's done one rabbit size poo in over now a 24-hour period. That's not on. This tooth needs to come out. This is now an emergency. Please get here now. So they very kindly came back out and went for a tooth extraction on the yard. They pulled and they tugged and they tweezed and they yanked, and that tooth was not going anywhere. So instead you had this thing going on. They filed this bit so it was completely flush, and then they filed the top off of this bit so it was all nice and round and smooth and couldn't dig into anything. Ram was much happier. She started eating again, but she wasn't eating hay, so I then changed her onto hay replacer, and they said eventually the tooth will have to come out, and they quoted me a lot of money, like a ridiculous amount of money, to have this tooth removed. One tooth. I am not a fan of horse insurance. I can almost hear the internet, some being divided now like the Red Sea. I can hear some of you going, you're insane, and then some of you going, yay. Horse insurance is not for me. I would rather put the money aside and then I've got it, as opposed to put the money into an insurance thing and then them go, oh, sorry, you're not covered for that. There are too many risks, excuse me, and the amount of money that it is too high of a risk to risk losing all that money as well. You're also not covered as soon as something goes wrong. So if they have a leg injury, that leg is no longer covered. And I've recently found out quite a few people have been told by their insurance, if the front leg is injured, the opposite hind leg is going to be void because they could compensate and cause another injury which stemmed from the first initial injury. So those two legs aren't. There's just so many ifs and why-fors and ifs and buts, so many complications. I'm just, no. And I'm also of the mindset that if something serious enough were to happen, that would be the end of the road. Because I don't want any animal that is ever mine to suffer in any respect. So, moving back onto topic. Sorry guys, slight detour there. Apologies for that one. So moving back onto topic. Ram had her tooth all filed, everything was fine. I then decided I would get a second opinion from a dentist rather than a vet, because if you're, if you've got toothache, you don't go to hospital, you go to the dentist if you're a human. So why was I going to the vet? I've learnt that lesson now, that's my bad. So I called the dentist in our area, who is amazing, brilliant, love her to bits. Previously, I had been using a different dentist who, until very recently, I have only just discovered isn't actually qualified. He has been lying to me this whole time. I'm not going to get into that on this video because I will get so angry it won't be worth filming, because I'll end up punching the camera. So I spoke to this dentist. She is wonderful. She came out, she had a look, told me that my previous dentist wasn't qualified. I've looked it up, she wasn't lying. And not that I thought she was, I just put that in there now as a disclaimer. So she basically told me that there are 2 teeth that needed to come out. She needs to have potentially 2 fillings. And my darling pony, because of previous dentists not picking up on it because he's not qualified and he should have spotted it, she has advanced onset tooth decay in her whole mouth. So basically she can't have hay anymore for the rest of her life, most probably. She probably will have no teeth by the time she's like 14, which is terrifying, really, if I'm honest, especially as this pony doesn't eat mash. You put mash in front of her and she's like, fudge is that? I won't eat that, that's gross. She's so picky, guys, honestly. So, yes, not ideal. So she then referred us to a specialist, the best in the country, to have Ram's mouth sorted because it's a mess, basically. It's an absolute mess. And she said that this has been brewing for years and probably since I've had the pony. So how can you know that something's wrong if you've seen that wrong from the outset, and if the person that is so-called the professional is lying to you and hasn't spotted it? So I feel awful. I don't need to be belittled, ridiculed, no one nasty, say anything nasty, because I don't need that. I already feel bad enough. At the end of the day, if someone says they're a vet, a dentist, an equine professional, for some reason we just trust them. And as soon as we hear those words, we're like, oh, okay, I put my animal's life in your hands, quite literally. My moral, my message from this is check their qualifications. From now on, no one is allowed near my horse until I've checked your qualifications. And if that offends you, you're not for me. Because I'm not going through that again. So, anyway, she is booked in for surgery on her mouth. She's having 2 teeth extracted, 2, possibly 3 fillings. And they're going to sort her mouth out and we are going to go from there. I cannot wait to see what pony I have out the other side of this. I think she's going to be a completely different mare. So yes, that is what Ram is going through at the moment. Ram also tweaked something when she came out of her stable the other day. So she has had the last couple of days off I think she's had about half a week off actually, because she couldn't be ridden basically. She was lame. So she is now in rehab. We are just walking everywhere at the moment. We're walking on the roads because I don't really want her walking on the soft, because I want to re-strengthen those tendons in her legs and everything first. So yes, she's been in the wars a bit at the moment, I think. Bless her, my little ponyo. But she's getting better. We're getting back to where we were. The vet said that she will tell you if she doesn't want to be worked. Believe me, if you know this mare, you know she does. And you know when there's something wrong. So she is fine and golden. She's fine and dandy. Obviously at the moment we're just walking because there's no point picking her work back up again now when she has surgery in 3 days' time. Yeah, it's just not worth it. No, 2 days' time. Wednesday. She has surgery this Wednesday. We are now, this is filmed on Monday. She has surgery on the 1st of May. And yeah, basically we see what we have when we get to the end of it. I'm excited and I'm nervous at the same time. So yes, that's the update on the Rambam. I hope everyone that watching this is watching this channel. I wish you peace and love, and your ponies are good. Check your qualifications for your professionals is my nugget of wisdom. And if one person watches this vlog and goes away and goes, checks their qualifications of the people that, you know, are coming to their horse, and if this makes a difference to one person, then this will be worth it. Because I don't want anyone going through what Ram's going through at the moment, because this bleep of a bleep decided not to get qualified, not to be honest. So yes, that's the update. That's what's going on. Flyer's in his new home and doing brilliantly from what I know. He's flying at the moment. Love him. So yes, it's all gone a bit mad and it's all gone a bit crazy. But yes, and Ram's video vlog is coming, guys. I promise it is. It's just, oh God, it's so stressful trying to get the music and the overlay and the speech and the voiceover and the videos, and is that bit worth it? And is that bit too long? And horses. Literally horses. So I'm going to drink my iced tea. That's not iced tea because it's orange juice, excuse me. And I hope that you all have a lovely rest of the week, because it is Stressful Monday. Just another manic Monday.